Hello there. Today I've been slightly short-changed actually. I'm showing a wine, but it's the remains of a bottle we've had from a tasting at work. And this is a Moscato from Pantelleria. It's a Moscato Liquoroso, so a fortified wine. It's from a producer called Pellegrino. It's the 2019 vintage and it's coming in a half-litre bottle. Pellegrino, you can see from the label, trace their establishment as a family business back to 1880. And actually they're best known as producers of Marsala. So they have vineyards in western Sicily, where they're producing fortified wines, table wines, still table wines, sparkling, sweet wines. But they also have a vineyard on Pantelleria, the Albarello vineyard. Pantelleria is a small volcanic island between Sicily and North Africa, very close to Malta. So a place with sort of hot summers, but quite windy and relatively mild springs. Their vineyards are at altitudes up to 300 meters, and the soils, volcanic soils with a certain amount of clay as a topsoil, giving quite good water retention. Now the classic style of Moscato from Pantelleria is made as a passito, using dried grapes and re-fermenting them in a wine made from the Moscato, so a wine like this. Now the Moscato here is Muscat of Alexandria, or Zibibo as the Italians would refer to it. So being a Liquoroso wine, it's fortified. The grapes for this are handpicked in the first 2 or 3 weeks of September, so that they retain some freshness. The fruit is crushed and allowed to macerate for 6 to 8 hours. The juice is then run clear into tank, where it ferments under temperature control to keep it lovely and fresh. The wine is fortified up to 15% alcohol with a rectified grape-based spirit, so a brandy, and it ages in vats for 6 months. So there's very little influence on the flavour beyond the grape variety. Everything is, in fact, the maceration before fermentation with the skins still in the juice is all designed to extract as much of the lovely grapey character of the Muscat of Alexandria grapes from them. Having a look at the wine, the tiny bit that I've got of it here, it's almost water white. I mean, it has so little colour, it's not even really got greenish hints. And that's in quite stark contrast to the passito from the same company that we have made a video of fairly recently, which is quite dark, rich, golden, amber colour. The aromas are intense and grapey. They're quite straightforward. They've got a rich fruit note that there's no great complexity. It's almost grapey, peachy, that sort of note there. But there is just a top note of anise there, which almost sort of makes me think of a pastis, French Acidity liqueur. So tasting the wine. Even though I've only got a tiny mouthful here, that's actually very pungent. It's very grapey. There's almost a sort of a fresh, apple touch. The alcohol at 15% isn't seeming particularly hot. It's giving a little bit of weight to the mid-palate. But the fruit is actually quite ebullient, quite rich. As I say, it's almost like grape juice, apple juice, that freshness. There is reasonable acidity, which, I mean, given the fact that this is from an island that's just off the coast of North Africa, it's a warm climate, but these vineyards are cooled by the fact that some of them are at reasonable altitude, 300 meters above sea level, and the fact that it's quite a windy place to grow grapes as well. So there is a certain freshness. I mean, I would never suggest to you that Muscat of Alexandria is a grape variety with a lot of acidity. but there's enough to balance the wine. This is really quite a simple, straightforward wine. There's no oak complexity whatsoever in the aromas or the flavours. It's not going to develop with age. In fact, the sooner it is drunk, the better, because its qualities are the fact that it's got this wonderful, fresh, grapey aspect, and that isn't going to develop into much else in this form. So, beautiful wine to drink, lovely and cool and fresh. Nicely chilled on a warm day, with nuts or with pastries and that sort of thing. Perhaps an afternoon idea with a classic Italian combination with a sweet wine like this would be cake in the afternoon. So yes, I make no great claims for it. It's not a very expensive wine, but it's well made, it's cleanly made, and it delivers a relatively sweet, probably somewhere a little over 100 grams per litre, profile with this lovely grapey fruit to provide lovely value for money sweet wine. It's a nice honest wine. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this interesting. I hope if you do that you will think about following us on YouTube, that you'll like and share the video with your friends, and perhaps you'll leave some comments and let us know what you think either of the wine or the videos that we're making. Hopefully you'll find some time to join us for another tasting very soon. So thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.